Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Inspiration Collaboration Design Team Challenge. This month, the team has challenged each other to use a kit and customize it so it works for you. So make changes to the design in the kit and make them work for your pictures. So the kit that I've chosen is Exploring Nature. And I'm going to use design number 2. So the scrapbook kits come with a sheet of instructions, and it shows the different pattern papers and cardstocks for you to use, and they're all labeled which design number the cuts are from. So it shows you how to set up your paper in your trimmer and the measurements. So this is the design, and then it gives the dimensions and measurements where each of the pieces are placed. So the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook are from my Alaskan cruise. And this is the first port that we stopped at, Ketchikan. And it's a beautiful port, and it was a bright, crisp day, and it was beautiful. We took some pictures off our balcony of the port before we disembarked and checked out the town. So that's the first of a series of pictures. So I'm looking at the instructions here, and I'm pulling the pattern papers that I'm going to need for this particular layout. And I'm just going to go through and pull everything that's marked 2. And I'll just go through and pull a couple more. This grid sheet that's basic beige and crumb cake. And then the flip side has this script. Okay, so what you also get in the kit are some exclusive pages. I won't be using either of those in this layout, but you also get some die cuts. So if you flip the die cut sheet over, they're all marked which design and sketch they are from. So I'm just looking at everything marked 2, and I'm just going to pop out all of these images. So it works like this. And then from this sheet, that's the only one for sketch number 2. But I'll flip this one over and I'll pull all the other ones. Okay, so I've made all of my cuts from the pattern papers and the cardstock, and I've set everything up according to the design, the sketch, and just looking at this cloud cover pattern, and I decided to flip it around so that it looks more continuous from side to side. So the lines match up and the distressing matches up. So I'm looking at this base. The pattern calls for white willow to be your base page, but I feel like it's a little too stark, and I'm not going to be using quite so much white in the final product. So I decided that I want to bring something else in. So this is a new collection, and it will be available with the March online exclusives, and it's called Wood Grain Wonders. And it has some great colors of a small scale wood grain. So you get basic beige and espresso, pecan pie, and crumb cake. And lots of really great basic colors and designs to work into a scrapbook page and stretch your pattern papers. So I'm going to use this basic beige, and it's a little bit lighter than the crumb cake design that's at the base. And I think that will look nicely. It will go nicely at the top of the page. I'm just bringing in the crumb cake design. I think it's too dark. I need something lighter. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to cut 2 2-inch strips. So let's just slide this in. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now I have everything set up. as my base. And then I cut another 1¼ inch strip to continue this over on the right page. The pattern doesn't call for it, but I like the continuity. And so I added that little bit of secrecy. So I've matted all of my photos. I've cut mats just a smidge larger than my photos. And then I cut down this sign from the town of Ketchikan, and that's going to serve as my title. So I'll adjust that mat so it matches better, but that's the general idea of how it's going to be set up. And then I printed my 3x3 pictures with white borders, so they're good to go. And we'll set everything up similar to the sketch. However, I am pulling that banner down because I want to see the whole cut of the banner. And the sketch shows it pushed up a little bit more, but I didn't like that. So the title for this page is Everyday Adventures, and you don't go to Alaska on a cruise every day, so I'm not going to use that title, and that's why I've got my Ketchikan sign set up there, and then I'm going to have kind of a subtitle. I'll show you that in a minute. But now I'm just bringing all of the die cuts that I popped out from those sheets and just kind of lay things out according to the pattern, see what I like, and make some adjustments if I want to bring some other things in. So there's also like another block for creating a list on the right page for additional journaling, but I think the block that's over on the left page is going to be sufficient for what I want to say for this particular layout. So I'm just placing that one there, but I'm going to substitute something else. So we'll lay everything out here. And that's that title that I'm swapping out. So I'll save that for another project. Now this is a set called Exploring Nature, and it goes with the Nature Walk collection. And I'm going to use this stamp. And it says, it's a great big world out there. And I'm going to stamp directly on that piece of pattern paper. Now this is a new set called Capturing Smiles, and it's got all the components to build a camera and then film strips and lots of really cool images and sentiments. So I'm going to use lots of the parts of these two collections, or these two sets. And that is available in the March online exclusives. This is Outdoor Adventure, and I'm going to use Let's Explore instead of using this sticker from the sticker sheet. The sticker talks about walking, and I think that Let's Explore is more appropriate, so I'm going to use that. And now I'm going to set up all of my stamps. So this is a new tool from Stamping Up, and it's called the Stampin' Positioner, and you can only get it during the month of February by joining my team. So I will put a link in the description below, and if you join Team Pixels and PaperCrafts and become a member of my team, you will receive the Stampin' Positioner for free as part of your business tools. To join, it's $99, and then you get to pick out $125 worth of products of your choice, and then the Stampin' Positioner will also be sent to you with business supplies like catalogs and other things in your welcome kit. So please join my team. Enjoy the benefits of 20% discount or commissions, and a great community with lots of events and previews on new products, which is a great benefit. So the positioner will be available at a later date to everyone, but that date has not been announced yet. So I am stamping, and the beauty of the positioner is that you can have cardstock or pattern papers hanging over the edge like it is over on the right side, and you can stamp more than once. And you can also stamp anywhere on a 12x12 sheet of cardstock. So it's great to get that deep, dark, crisp image by stamping more than once. So now I'm going to use this camera image, and I'm going to stamp on the light side of cloud cover. So I've got all of my stamps set up, and you just lay your positioner down and press and pick up your stamps, and then ink them up. And then there are pegs for your positioner to rest on over on the upper left and lower left corners. And then there are pegs that are spring-loaded over on the right side. And so you just press down. You don't have to press hard, but when you have a larger stamp, make sure that you kind of work your fingers all around so that you have the ink meeting the cardstock evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and ink these up again because I want them to be super dark. And then place the positioner back down and press again. And you get a perfectly stamped image. Make sure I work all the way around there. And we'll pick up the plate. Beautiful. Okay, so this stamp set comes with a coordinating die collection, and it's going to get a lot of use. All of these little components and bits for building a camera, they're just so much fun. Okay, so I also stamped out Let's Explore on the light side of Lost Lagoon, and here's all my die cutting. So I've cut some of these film strips. This is also a new paper. It's a specialty paper, and it is called Lunar Luster, and it will also be available with the March online exclusives. And it's a really cool silver that's kind of a matte. It's just got a really, really interesting look to it. So I cut a bunch of images using that, and then all the different components to my camera, and a banner for the Let's Explore sentiment. So I have all my little goodies here, and in a minute I'll build that camera and I'll show you how that works. So you've got the base to the camera, and then another piece I cut in the dark side of cloud cover, and then the aperture that I stamped, and then the lens. And I'll pop that outer circle. The finished product looks really cool. So the design, the sketch shows all these components, but I think this white list piece, like I talked about earlier, that's going to go. I think I'm going to add my camera right there in that space. Okay. And then I have this little film cell that says photo op. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it, so it'll just live there for a second. Okay, getting there. So from the sticker sheet, I thought I was going to use this mountain border strip, but I'm going to go with the one that's part of the original design. The white part above the mountains, it just wasn't working. So go back to that, and we'll tuck our film strips in on either side, kind of build things up and create our clusters. And I thought I was going to use the Lunar Luster film strip, but I like the way the Secret Sea one pops better. So that's going to go over there. Okay. All right, so off camera, I'm going to glue everything down. Not everything, but most of it. And then we can start working with all of our embellishments. So my pencil, I marked kind of a half circle on this journaling block, just so I knew where I should stop, where that circle that says explore more is going to overlap it. So that's why there's a pencil sitting on my desk there. So didn't want a journal where it would be covered up. So this other portion of that sticker, that border sticker, I cut off. I just kind of guessed, and now I'm going to trim it down a little bit more before I stick it down. And then we'll go ahead and stick the other portion of that border underneath my picture, but over the banner. Put that there. Okay. So the design has the sentiment below that, but it's not going to fit. I don't want to cover up any of my picture, so I'm going to put it above, and I think it works. I think it's okay. All right, so I'm going to pop this circle on the left page with dimensionals. So we'll add that, and then we'll tuck this banner kind of underneath it. And then there's a couple more banner stickers from the sticker sheet that I'll add on top. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and add some glue to that film strip with my fine tip glue press. These little dots of glue. Looks like a lot, but it really isn't. And then we'll tuck that under the journaling block. Get that glued down. So lots of small changes to this layout. The picture on the left page is landscape instead of portrait. So you can change things up. You don't have to adhere to the design exactly. And then you can add your own embellishments. You can use other die cuts that are part of the kit. Make it your own and make it work for your pictures. Okay, so continue building our embellishment clusters. And then I journaled the date on this tab. We'll stick that down. And then we'll complete the building of the camera here. So I've got everything down flat with adhesive, and then I've popped the lens portion with the mini dimensionals. It looks so cool once it's all assembled and put together. And then I cut the mini dimensionals in half so that they would fit along the rim of that. Okay, we'll get everything secured down. So I've chosen a compass sticker instead of enjoy the view because I'm going to use a different sticker that talks about the view right in that cluster with the let's explore. But let's build this cluster over on the right here. Tuck some greenery in, and that's that half circle sticker that I'm going to add instead of using geotag and covering my picture. And then we'll scatter some of these hearts that I die cut all around using the lunar luster paper. We'll scatter some of those, kind of deciding where they should go. Nope, nope, nope. I'll find a spot. Gotta try it and see what it looks like. Aha. Okay, I like it there. That's where it goes. And then continuing adding some more embellishments. These are the bronze pentagons, and they come in 2 sizes. So we'll scatter a bunch of those around as well. Just to add another type of metallic element to the layout. So we'll just add a whole bunch of those. So I will put a playlist at the end of this video with a link to all of the inspiration, collaboration, design team videos for this challenge, and you can see which scrapbook kits they have chosen and how they have customized them to make them their own and made changes to them to make them work for their pictures and their subjects. So make sure you check out all of their videos. I'll pull these closer to the camera so you can have a closer look. And then if you hop on over to my socials, the URLs will be at the bottom of your screen. and I'll put links in the description below. Just hit the More button, and then you'll be able to find close-up still shots of this layout. And in the description below, you will also find a list of all the supplies that I used. And then in March, the online exclusives will be live, and you'll be able to shop those as well in March. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I sure appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And I'll see you soon here on YouTube. Thank you.